Who are we? Where do we come from? And what is our purpose in life? In a world full of endless possibilities, why do we keep creating the same realities over and over? Isn't it amazing that we have so many options and potentials that exist, but yet we're unaware? Is it possible that we're so conditioned to our daily routines and the way we create our lives that we buy the idea that we have no control at all? That we've been conditioned to believe that the external world is more real than the internal world. This new way of looking at science is just the opposite. It says that what's happening in us will create what's happening outside of us. Consciousness creates reality. This theme has changed the scientific, medical, and alternative media outlets around the world. Countless scientists study this idea and how it might be correlated with the nature of our reality. It raises the questions, what is consciousness? Consciousness includes a number of things. It's how we perceive our world. It's our thoughts and intentions. It's being aware, and so much more. Looking for consciousness in the brain is like looking for the radio announcer on the radio. The notion that consciousness creates reality raises so many questions. Does this mean that we as individuals, on a collective level, as one human race, can shape and create whatever reality we'd like for ourselves? Does it mean that we can manifest a certain lifestyle and attract certain experiences? Does it happen instantly, or does it take time? And how do we do it? We know so little still, but yet we might still be able to answer these questions with scientific certainty. We do know, correlation between consciousness and our physical world does indeed exist in some way. The extent of that correlation is still not completely understood. But we know it's there. We know that it must have a significance. Asking yourself these deeper questions opens up new ways of being in the world. The real trick to life is not to be in the know, but to be in the mystery. I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness. According to R.C. Henry, a professor of physics of astronomy at Johns Hopkins University, in 2005 essay, a fundamental conclusion of the new physics also acknowledges that the observer creates reality. As observers, we're personally involved with the creation of our reality. Physicists are being forced to admit that the universe is a mental construction. Pioneering physicist Sir James Newton wrote, "The stream of knowledge is headed towards a non-mechanical reality. The universe begins to look like a great god than a great machine. The mind no longer seems to be an accidental truth into the realm of matter. We are rather to hail it as a creator and governor of the realm of matter, get over it and accept it. An inarguable conclusion, the universe is immaterial, mental, and spiritual." The science behind the statement, consciousness creates reality. The quantum double-slit experiment is the initial way in which we could see how this operates. One potential revelation is that the observer creates a reality. In this experiment, scientists use a double-slit optical system to test the possible role of consciousness in the collapse of the quantum wave function. They predicted the ratio of the interference patterns, the double-slit spectral power to a single slit to a single slot, and when attention was forced upon it, found that the factors associated with consciousness significantly correlated and predicted ways. And the double-slit interference pattern, in other words, scientists affected the results simply by observing it. Observation not only shows this, but it produces the reality. We ourselves are producing the reality which we see. Even though this is one of the more popular experiments, there are several other studies that shows that consciousness and factors associated with our thoughts directly affect reality. A number of experiences in the field of parapsychology also demonstrate this. Sure, we might not understand completely the extent of this. Scientists can't even explain it completely, but it has been observed time and time again. How can we incorporate this information into our daily lives and use consciousness to transform the world? Change requires action, and that place within ourselves that we take action from has a great deal with the outcome. Modern day science, especially quantum physics, has been catching up with ancient mysticism. It's been ingrained in various cultures throughout the world, going back as far as we remember. One example would be that everything is energy, that nothing is solid. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Broadly speaking, although there are some differences, Buddhist philosophy, quantum mechanics, can shake hands on their view of the world. We can see in these great examples fruits of human thinking, regardless of adulation. We think of these great thinkers as human beings, just as we are. Great example, quantum physics meeting ancient system was Tesla. When pondering his ideas, observed zero-point energy. So why is this relevant? Because the new physics has finally discovered that consciousness does shape reality. The way we think and perceive things can significantly impact our lives and the world around us. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. If we look at the world and examine it on a collective level, what do we see? How do we perceive it? Right now, the masses believe that normal life means going to school, paying bills, raising a family, and finding a job. Current paradigm to support yourself. Many people are not resonating with this experience, however, but they want change. We've been repeating and perceiving our reality in this way for a very long time, as if we were drones trained to accept it, not to question what's going on in the world, but to continue on with the status quo, only caring for ourselves and our own small lives. As Noam Chomsky would say, our consensus has been manufactured. If we continue down this path and continue to perceive reality as just the way it is, then we will ensure prolong this type of existence and experience for the human race without ever changing it. In order to create and manifest a new reality for ourselves, our thought patterns and the way we perceive reality must change. What changes the way we perceive reality? Information. When new information emerges, it changes the way we look at things. And as a result, our reality changes with it, and we begin to manifest and experience and open our minds to a broader view of reality. What's also important about Newton physics is that conscious creates reality. That means change starts within us, starts with the way in which we are observing the outer world from our inner world. Our perception of the internal world might very well be a reflection of our inner world, our inner state of being. So ask yourself, are you happy? Are you observing, perceiving, and acting from a place of love? Or from a place of hate, and fear, and anger? All of these factors are associated with our consciousness and observations. The one or the many who's doing the observing might impact the type of physical world we manifest for ourselves. We are indeed the observers, and we can create change and great patterns to open up new possibilities all through the way in which we observe ourselves and others in the world around us. The human race is in the process of great change, and as a result, the way we perceive and observe the world around us on a mass scale is shifting drastically. So, if you wish to change the world, change the way you look at things, and those things you look at will change.